evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Motordrome Speedway. Tonight, the Toyota dealers of Western Pennsylvania present Fan Appreciation Night 2007. At this time, we ask that each and every one of you will please rise up from your seats. Gentlemen, please remove your caps, and if you are moving around the Speedway grounds at this time, please pause with us for our opening ceremonies. Joining us here on the front straightaway this evening for our opening ceremonies, we have Pastor Sementelli from the New Stanton Baptist Church, and Melissa Grimm will be here to sing our national anthem. At this time, we turn the microphone over to Pastor Sementelli for tonight's invocation.
Heavenly Father and gracious God, again, we are so thankful for the freedom we have in this great land of ours to enjoy this event. It is good to know that you are watching us, and we ask that you keep the drivers safe, help them to do the very best that they can. And thank you again, Lord, for your great love to us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And before Melissa Grimm performs our national anthem, we want to make welcome all of the Cub Scouts from Pack 1509 from Monessen here to present the colors for our opening ceremonies. And now, Miss Melissa Grimm.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you to Melissa Grimm, Pastor Sementelli, and Cub Scout Pack 1509 from Monessen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to go NASCAR racing? Stokes defending division champion Tracy Keller in the 1-0-4. One win this season for Jimmy Christoffel. The 2 car. As we get the green flag for the Yellow Book Charger division. The 2 is Jim Connolly, 12 Roger Bryan, 48 Ed McConnell, 7 most recent winner Matt Gardner, and 5 Bill Oldham. 6 laps the distance for this first of 2 preliminary heats for the Yellow Book Chargers on their biggest night of the season. Jimmy Stokes in car 95 opening up a big lead. He has 2 wins already this season, and he's leading the defending champion Tracy Keller. 04 of Jimmy Christoffel got a first career win back in the month of May, and he dives to the inside of Keller, fighting for second spot in a close battle, spinning in turn 2, then gathering it back up as the 2 of Connolly. 48 machine of McConnell had to make some evasive moves, and now they're door-to-door into turn number 3 in that battle for the 5th spot. Jimmy Christoffel, meanwhile, powers the 04 car into the 2nd position. Christoffel, what a heartbreaking story for the sophomore driver. He got his first career win the last week of May, and then last week, while leading the division point standings, was involved in a frightening crash on the back straightaway. You see the multicolored body panels from a lengthy repair to the front end of the 04 car as Jimmy Stokes sees the signal of 2 laps to go as your leader. Battle for third, the 7 of Matt Gardner from Ruffsdale, Pennsylvania. got his first career win in this division the last time we raced in the NASCAR Weekly Series here at Motordrome. And the defending champion, Tracy Keller, in the 1 just in front of him as the white flag signals final lap for Jimmy Stokes. Into turn 1, door to door, is the 7 of Gardner from Ruffsdale, PA, and the 1 of Tracy Keller from Asheville, Pennsylvania. Gardner storms into the 3rd place on the final lap, and out of turn number 4, winning his 2nd heat race of 2007, it's Jimmy Stokes. Jimmy Christoffel coming home in 2nd, Matt Gardner in 3rd, Tracy Keller in 4th, and sideways out of 4, but getting a top 5 finish will be the 48 of Ed McConnell from Evans City. It's Victor Keller from Charleroi. 6 laps the distance, Yellow Book Chargers, biggest event of the season, and heat race number 2 is underway. Battle for the lead. Jeff Giles Jr. in the 50 on the inside, 34 of Aaron Minjock on the outside. It's a Pontiac Grand Prix to the low side, a Buick Regal on top. And leading lap number 1 will be Minjock by a bumper. Officially at the scoring line, Minjock was your leader in car 34. The Yellow Book Chargers division cars are 8-cylinder automatic transmission, rear-wheel drive American passenger cars, modified for driver safety and competing on street tires. Minjock the leader now over former champion Jeff Giles, and look at Mike Lemley in the 4 car. Climbing up to challenge for 2nd, Lemley in the 4 is from Dawson, Pennsylvania, has over a dozen wins in his Motordrome career, including 1 in 2007. And he is trying to wrestle the 2nd position away from Jeff Giles Jr. in the 50 car, who in 2006 won 13 features in this division. Working lap number 3 of 6, Aaron Minjock out in front. Door-to-door battle for 2nd with Giles on the inside from Vanderbilt, Pennsylvania, losing the runner-up spot on the back straight to Mike Lemley in the 4. Then it's the 11 of 2-time heat race winner this season, Victor Keller. Robbie Hott in the 16 car holds a top 5 spot with 2 laps to go. Aaron Minjock from Greenock, Pennsylvania in the 34 car. Last season had feature and heat race victories, but is yet to see a checkered flag in 07. Diving to the inside in a battle for 3rd into turn 4, it's Victor Keller in the 11 as the white flag signals final lap. Pole starter Jeff Giles Jr. is back to 4th with Robbie Hott right on his back bumper. 34 of Aaron Minjock from Greenock, Pennsylvania. The younger brother of Al Minjock, a former winner in the American Flyers and former winner in the Charger division. First heat race win of 07 for Minjock in the 34 car. Jason Holder, 69, Joe Nicola, 94, Dustin Blank, 25, Dave Tavermina. Green flag is in the air. The 18 is Jeff Zellweger. And Curtis Stewart in the 41 car. Looks like a parade lap at full speed, door to door, 6 cars deep down the back straight. Subway street stock racing action into turns 3 and 4. Veteran John Greenewald inches just ahead of the 10 car of Ashton and will lead lap number 1. Jason Holder in the 74 car. Once a heat race winner this season, has led many feature laps, challenging for the lead early in this one. Dustin Blank in the 94, another veteran driver sliding into the 3rd spot. Dave Tavermina, the blue car, up to 4th. We call him the Hammer. He's got 1 feature win already this season. The 41 machine, the Al Minjock-owned Ford Taurus, is driven tonight. Curtis Stewart dropping back just a little, and look at Tavermina dive to the inside of Dustin Blank's 94. Tavermina in that blue Chevrolet Monte Carlo It's being scored as number 25. It's got 21s on the door because it's his backup car. He's just taken third spot away from Dustin Blank's 94, and now he's taking away the runner-up spot from Greenewald. Tavermina, the Hammer, takes 2 spots away from veteran Subway street stock drivers as working lap number 4, Jason Holder in car 74 from Stoystown, Pennsylvania, has about a 6-car length advantage on the Hammer. Best battle is for third, 94 of Dustin Blank. Looking to the inside of John Greenewalt in the 12. Both of these drivers are former super late model competitors, now finding a home in the Subway street stocks. Close racing down the front straight into turn number 1, 3 wide. The Ford of Joe Nicola, number 69, diving to the inside. The meat of the sandwich is Dustin Blank in 94, and he wisely backs off to let those 2 drivers slug it out for that position. 2 laps to go, the signal given, and Nicola makes the big move. 69 car is up into third spot as a 2-time heat race winner this season. Breaking away from the rest of the field, the lead battle intensifies headed into turn number 3. Jason Holder in 74, just about trading paint with the Hammer. Dave Tavermina on the inside. White flag for the final lap, and the Hammer takes the lead by inches over Stoystown's Jason Holder. Final time around for the Subway street stocks in heat race number 1. Dave Tavermina started deep in the field, and the Hammer takes the lead at the white flag from Holder. Nicola makes the big move up to third, but at the wave of the checkered flag, first heat race win of the year for the Hammer, Dave Tavermina. And Heilman from Bell Vernon. Outside of him, it's the points leader in the 05, Adam Kostelnik. 57 is his younger brother, Andrew Kostelnik. 31 is Sean Phillips. 64, Bill Henry. 45, Don Blank. Green flag is out, another 8-lap preliminary for the Subway street stocks, and the points leader by random draw gets the front row starting spot and takes off to an early lead. 15 of Heilman is on the inside of the 31 of Jefferson, Pennsylvania's Sean Phillips. Tight, close racing out of turn 4 for the battle for second. At the scoring line, officially on lap 1, Sean Phillips is the runner-up in car 31. Heilman in the 15, now in third. On the outside, the green 57, the most recent feature winner, Andrew Kostelnik from North Braddock, Pennsylvania. On the move and using the outside lane around Jonathan Heilman's 15 car. He will take that spot by inches at the scoring line, working lap number 2 of 8. Heilman battles back on the inside now. Door to door, those Monte Carlos fight for third. Up front, Sean Phillips has closed in on leader Adam Kostelnik, looking to challenge for the heat race win. Light contact made in the battle for the lead that time. Sean Phillips in car 31, second on the racetrack, third in the championship points battle. Draws right to the back bumper of Adam Kostelnik in the 05. Kostelnik, who has led the championship chase all season long. These 2 drivers could contend for the title in the Subway street stocks as we near the midpoint of the season. We have reached the midpoint of this event, 4 laps down and 4 to go. All sorts of contact among the top 3 cars in turn 2. Holding tough on the high side of Bill Henry's 64. Andrew Kostelnik makes a move. Younger brother of the race leader trying to take away third with an outside pass of Heilman's 15. Adam Kostelnik in the 05 now up a half a lane, opens the inside for Phillips. Phillips with 1 tire on the grass apron, bouncing through the turns, and it's a brother battle at the front. Like a rocket ship on the outside lane, Andrew Kostelnik in the 57 car has moved up to challenge his brother for the win. By inches on lap number 6, Adam Kostelnik, the older brother, holds on to the lead over his younger sibling, the most recent feature winner here at Motordrome. Kostelnik, Andrew Kostelnik that is, has figured out the outside lane. The points leader trying to win another heat race. White flag signals final lap. Andrew Kostelnik showing some tire smoke, but advancing from last to first in this heat race event. He has passed his elder brother Adam Kostelnik for the lead. Sean Phillips in 31 battling with Jonathan Heilman for third position. Headed to the checkered flag. Second heat race win of the season for Andrew Kostelnik. Clarksburg, West Virginia, Mr. Consistency, John Messenger. The 18 is Chad Hemphill from Butler, and we have a green flag. An ugly start, but a clean start. Caught some of the drivers sleeping with that green flag as Will Thomas opens up a huge lead down the back straightaway. Dan Lewis drives the 8 car. He is making a move to the outside of Norm Taylor. Behind him, it's Dave Merrow in the 69. Former track champion Mark Catone drives the 31. Gary Wiltrout in 95 and a spin in turn 2. Chad Hemphill in the 18 car from Butler, Pennsylvania goes around. He's able to right the car, but a caution flag will wave. Drivers earning points toward the Motordrome Championship and NASCAR National Points as the green flag waves for Will Thomas. David Reagan in the 24 car trying to hold off 2 Motordrome veterans in his first super late model start here in Smithton, PA. Reagan in the 24 car riding in second with John Messenger and Dan Lewis door to door behind him in third and fourth. Messenger, after taking 1 week off for mechanical problems, has the Cochran construction car back up to full speed. But young Dan Lewis in the 8 car holding on to the third position while Thomas runs away with this one. Behind the battle of Messenger and Lewis, we find Dave Merrow's 69 car, door to door with the 5 of Norm Taylor. Taylor has won at Lorain County Speedway. He's won at Mansfield Speedway, Columbus Motor Speedway, and all over Ohio, making his first start tonight in preparation for next week's Mara 100. Will Thomas, the leader. Reagan in second in his first Motordrome start. Then it's the 8 of Dan Lewis, 51 of John Messenger, 5 of Norm Taylor. Behind Taylor, a battle of Gary Wiltrout and Dave Merrow as Wiltrout, the 2002 Motordrome track champion, takes away the 5th position. And just in front of that battle, Lewis and Messenger still door to door out of turn 4. Heated action for third continues down the front stretch. Dan Lewis in the 8 car. He's won in the Pro Truck division. He's won in the Charger division. In only a couple of starts, as a matter of fact, in the Charger division. And Lewis, by just a fender, maintaining the 3rd position officially at the scoring line each lap over Mr. Consistency, John Messenger's 51. This time, Messenger has the advantage by just a bumper over Lewis as they head into turns 3 and 4 behind the 24 of Reagan. White flag is in the air. From the drop of the green flag, Will Thomas has had this event well in hand, and the former Mara Series champion in car number 9 from Sharpsville, Pennsylvania, headed to the checkered flag and taking his first win, and we got trouble. Thomas will win it, but the 5 of Taylor and the 95 of Wiltrout have spun in turn 3 at the wave of the checkered. In car 98, Neil Brown. The 15 is the Shop and Save sponsored Ford of Todd Price. The 20 is rookie Ricky Megley. 5 is Sean Pillow from Connellsville. 33 is John Komarinsky. 44 is Greg Kelly. 00 Larry Bahana, as we have turned him loose for 10 more laps. Bobby Henry taking the early lead in this second preliminary for the Napa NASCAR Super Late Models. Tommy Beck into second. Neil Brown in third. Chris Bailey riding in the 4th spot. And then Todd Price in the 15 car. Best battle is that for 4th. The Mount Pleasant and Olympia Shop and Save 15. That's the Mann's Family entry. And the 15 this year driven by Todd Price, who takes away 4th position, working lap number 2. Now a battle for the second spot. Neil Brown in car 98 from Acme, Pennsylvania, the only repeat winner this season in the division. Tommy Beck to the high side in car 60, and Brown takes that spot away as the most recent feature winner. Climbs into second spot while Bobby Henry in the Stone & Company Megan Ford 11 is checking out on the field, working lap number 3 of 10. Bobby Henry's lead, working lap number 4, almost an entire straightaway over Neil Brown in the 98, then Tommy Beck in the 60, the 15 of Todd Price, and then Neil Brown's teammate in car number 5, that is Sean Pilla. Clearly one of the most improved drivers of this season. Pilla already with 3 heat race victories in car 5. The halfway point of this event, battle for 4th. The 5 of Sean Pilla on the inside. The 15 of Todd Price from Alum Bank, Pennsylvania on the outside. Price still seeking his first super late model checkered flag. Pilla with those 3 heat race wins this season, looking for his first career feature win. Nearly a dead heat at the scoring line as they begin working lap number 7. That battle for 4th spot, still anybody's race back there. They cross the start-finish line nearly even while Bobby Henry runs away with the lead with just 2 laps to go. Neil Brown in 2nd, Tommy Beck in 3rd, and now Sean Pilla, as they head for the line by inches, scored in the 4th spot, working lap number 8, holding the inside lane on Todd Price in the 15 car. White flag waving, Bobby Henry looking to remain undefeated in preliminary competition this season. Sean Pilla in the 5, now with a full car length at the scoring line on the final lap in that battle for 4th over Price in the 15 car. But in turns 3 and 4 from Connellsville, Pennsylvania, the Paul Agrudo Racing number 11 of Bobby Henry, undefeated in heat race action this season with the Napa NASCAR Super Late Models. Outside of him in car 6 from Concord, Ohio, Tom Frank. 16 car is driven by veteran Gary Scott from Irwin, Pennsylvania. And the 34 machine is driven by Rich Nicola from Pittsburgh. Green flag is out. Matt Panaya in car 32 takes the early lead. Panaya won 1 heat race last season and placed 6th in the championship chase. Panaya in the 32 looking for his first checkered flag of the season. Chris Brink makes contact with the 7 of Ben Easler. Tom Frank nearly collected as the 34 of Rich Nicola made contact, and the 16 of Gary Scott dives to the inside to avoid that contact. First of 2 preliminary 8-lap heat races for the Lincoln Welders Modifieds. Harry Ofer and Matt Panaya the front row. This time it's Ofer who gets the jump after Panaya unofficially led the lap that was wiped off the board by the caution flag. Panaya falling back now into the 3rd, maybe the 4th spot after our waved off attempt at a green flag. Panaya had his way with the field. Now he's wheel to wheel with Gary Scott fighting for 3rd. Ofer will lead lap number 1 over recent winner Bobby Shipp, and Gary Scott stealing the 3rd spot away from Panaya on lap 1. Panaya, the 32 car, falling back now and feeling the pressure of young Tom Frank, driver from the Cleveland suburbs in car number 6. Frank was a heat race winner last season. Comes to us each week from Concord, Ohio, and Ben Easler, who rejoined the field briefly, pulling the 7 car back down pit road. Tough break for the popular young driver. Meanwhile, Easler's mentor in car number 16, Gary Scott, is challenging for 2nd. The 04 of Bobby Shipp from Elizabeth, Pennsylvania in the low groove. Gary Scott from Irwin, PA in the high groove. Wheel-to-wheel racing down the front straight. Shipp maintains the runner-up position on lap 3 of 8, and now Gary Scott completing that pass out of turn number 2. Leader Harry Ofer in the 01 car already has 2 heat race wins this season, has had some misfortune that's kept him out of the lead battles in feature racing action, but with the crossed flags indicating halfway through this event, it's Harry Ofer leading Gary Scott. And back in the third spot, Bobby Shipp. Matt Panaya's 32 car has finally come to life. He's distanced himself from Tom Frank and has pulled up to the rear bumper of Shipp, looking to challenge for third after starting on the front row. 5 laps completed of 8, and Gary Scott in the 16 car, second position, changes to the high side of the speedway in hopes to challenge Harry Ofer for a heat race win. So far this season, Gary Scott in the 16 car has 3 heat race wins and 1 feature victory. And with 2 laps to go, Harry Ofer's 0-1 car holds the inside lane. Ofer's 2 heat race wins, both coming with the crate engine under the hood of that car. Makes less horsepower, but provides for a lighter car and higher cornering speeds. As the white flag is waving, Harry Ofer in the 0-1, Gary Scott in the 16. Both heat race winners earlier this season. Scott with a feature win. Ofer seeks his first career modified feature victory. And in 2007 so far, looks like a contender to do exactly that at some point during the racing season. Checkered flag waves. Harry Ofer wins his 3rd heat of the season. Defending champion Adam Kostelnik. 99 is Bo Glemba from Charleroi. 68 is Lonnie Hoffman from right here in Smithton. Green flag waving. And the 9 car of Rick Huffman, the AmericanInfidelT-shirts.com. Number 9, out in front, having his career best season is Huffman, one of the most improved drivers from 2006 to 2007. Huffman will lead lap number 1 in the 9 car over 2-time former modified champion Jim Nicola in the 5. Jim Nicola feeling the pressure from his nephew George in car 97. George Nicola with 2 heat race victories this season, wheel to wheel with Uncle Jim, and takes that position away, while Huffman in the 9 continues to lead. Rick Huffman from Jefferson Hills feels the pressure of Pittsburgh's George Nicola now. Meanwhile, from the last row, Bo Glemba in the 99 car takes the 3rd spot away from Jim Nicola with a big move in 2 laps. Working lap number 3 of 8, leader continues to be Rick Huffman, the American Infidel T-shirts ride. George Nicola challenges to the inside. 3-car battle behind them. Bo Glemba in the 99 takes the 3rd spot, bringing the defending champion Adam Kostelnik right with him to the inside of Jim Nicola. Huffman's lead at the halfway point of this race is less than a car length. George Nicola changes lanes and dives to the bottom. On the back straight, Nicola in 97. Rick Huffman in car 9, battling for the top position. Nicola completes the pass out of turn number 4. New leader on lap number 5 is George Nicola. Rick Huffman in the 2nd spot. Bo Glemba officially scored in 3rd, but now feels the pressure of Adam Kostelnik in car 60 to his outside. Kostelnik sliding into the 3rd position. He has 3 feature victories already this season in car 60. 2 laps to go, the signal given to George Nicola out in front. Rick Huffman in car number 9, who led the early laps of this race, now in jeopardy of losing the 2nd position, and he does. Huffman's car wobbled just a bit out of turn 2. He lost some momentum, and Kostelnik gets by for 2nd. Here comes Bo Glemba from Charleroi into the 3rd spot as the white flag indicates final lap. George Nicola in car 97 has led many, many laps in feature racing competition this season. He has more than 9 career wins, but has been taken out with vicious crashes not of his own fault on more than 2 occasions this season. But Nicola sees another heat race checkered flag for the 3rd time in 07. Points leader from Vanderbilt. The 9 car is Cody Kwarek, making only his 3rd start. 51 is Kevin Ludwig from Star Junction, Pennsylvania. 43 car is Chris Spadacine. 32 is defending champion Dan Jordan, and 44 is Mary Catherine Shimko. 3 wide racing on the back straight. Champion Dan Jordan all the way to the outside in car 32. Folks, if you're looking for an affordable way to move from the grandstands to the Speedway, the American Flyers Division cars are modified only for safety from their street passenger car versions, and it's an affordable and easy way to make yourself a race car competitor and get your feet wet with NASCAR-style competition here at the Motordrome Speedway. Jay Matthews is the early leader. He has 4 heat race wins and 2 feature wins this season. Then door-to-door fighting for second, it's Andy Giles in the 05 taking the position away from Dukic in the 95. And here comes last year's champion, Dan Jordan, in 32. He started last in this event. He's challenging for third on lap 2, takes that spot away and quickly moves to the outside of the Giles 05 car. Heat race for the American Flyers is 5 laps in distance. And Jay Matthews in the West Side Lube and Tire 77 car way out in front of the field with 2 to go. Jordan now takes away second position by only a fender at the scoring line on lap 3. Andy Giles, the points leader, back to third ahead of Dukic. Then it's Eifert the third and Cody Kwarek in the 9 car, 2 of the youngest competitors on the Speedway, fighting it out for 5th position. White flag waving. Final lap indicated to Jay Matthews in 77. That's a Dodge Daytona for you Mopar fans leading this field. Second spot, Dan Jordan in a Buick with a Dodge Shadow in third, Chevy Cavalier in fourth. Dodge Shadow in fifth, followed by a couple more Cavaliers and a Pontiac Grand Am on the Speedway. Checkered flag waving, Jay Matthews with another heat race victory in the American Flyers. Feature winner and current points leader, driving the Mag Racing No Whack Painting, number 7 car from Ruffsdale, Pennsylvania, Matt Gardner. Starting inside the last row, driving the Amco Transmissions, Suntan Shack Jefferson Hills Painting car, number 44 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Bob Garchak Jr. Moving into the next row on the outside and driving car number 5, a veteran competitor. Moved his way up from the American Flyers division to the Yellow Book Chargers from Connellsville, Pennsylvania, driving car number 5, Bill Oldham. On the inside of that very same row, one of 2 racing brothers in the Yellow Book Charger division, drives the Buick Regal, numbered 41, from Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. Welcome, Al Minjock. Starting outside the next row, relative newcomer to the division, driving the MDH Investment Management, number 2 car, and hailing from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, say hello to Jim Connolly. Inside the next row, couple years of racing experience now in the Charger division. He drives the number 68 machine, the Neidhart Auto Sales Monte Carlo. Coming to us all the way from Renfrew, ladies and gentlemen, Ed Neidhart. Up next, the hometown hero in the Trices Construction Monte Carlo, number 12. From right here in Smithton, Pennsylvania, say hello to Roger Bryan. Inside that same row, driving car number 34, feature winner in the American Flyers division, feature winner in the Yellow Book Charger division, from Greenock, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Minjock. Outside of row number 4, driver who advanced to this form of competition after dominating the Demolition Derby circuit, greatly improved in 2006 up through 2007, having a terrific season in car 16, from Washington, Pennsylvania, Robbie Hott. Feature winner already this season, starting from the 7th position. The driver from Dawson, Pennsylvania, with 2 heat race victories already this season. To go along with that feature win from Dawson, Pennsylvania, welcome Mike Lemley. Heartbreaking situation in our last NASCAR event for this driver who was leading the point standings throughout 2007 until a grinding crash on June 1st as a sophomore racer, driving the Lewis Auto Repair Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Got his first career feature win back in the month of May. The 04 is driven by Jimmy Christoffel. Up next, a former division champion, winner of 13 feature events back in 2005. He hails from Vanderbilt, Pennsylvania. He's tried the modified racing and loves these Charger cars. Number 50 is driven by Jeff Giles Jr. Making up row number 2 for tonight's 15-lap feature, rookie to the division in car number 48 from Evans City, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen, Ed McConnell. Starting third in tonight's feature event, the defending champion of the Yellow Book Chargers in the BK Electric car number 1 with one heat race victory this season from Asheville, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen, Tracy Keller. And making up the front row for tonight's Yellow Book Charger 15-lap feature event, driver with 2 victories already in this young season. He hails from West Newton, Pennsylvania, another member of the MAG Racing Team. The Westside Lube and Tire 95 is driven by Jimmy Stokes. And starting on the pole with 2 heat race victories already this season, hailing from Charleroi, Pennsylvania, another of the BK Electric Racing entries. Ladies and gentlemen, pole starter this evening in car 11, it's Victor Keller. Field will now take shape behind the Toyota Camry, official Motordrome Speedway pace car. And we get set for 15 laps of Charger racing action. 15 laps the distance. Biggest event of the season for the Yellow Book Chargers. Victor Keller in the 11, Jimmy Stokes in the 95. Lead him to the green flag and we're underway. Full speed for the Yellow Book Chargers. Door to door, the 11 of Victor Keller and the 95 of Jimmy Stokes. The 1 of Tracy Keller, the defending champion, watching the leaders race door to door. Out of turn 4, who will lead lap number 1? Stokes in the 95. Jimmy Stokes on the back straight, opening up a 2-car length advantage over Victor Keller, then the 1 of Tracy Keller. Former track champions riding in 3rd and 4th, Tracy Keller, then Jeff Giles Jr. in the 50 car, trying to hold off the 4 of Mike Lemley. Just behind that battle for the 4th spot, we see recent winner, the 04 Jimmy Christoffel, who had to rebuild that machine after a crash on June 1st. Still door to door in that battle for 4th. Giles Jr. on the inside in car 50, who once won 13 features in a single season, trying to hold off the advances of Mike Lemley's 4 car, working lap number 3 of 15. Trouble, turn 4. The Lemley and Giles battle. Turns ugly with contact. The 4 of Mike Lemley sits at a stop in turn 4. Giles Jr. drives away from the incident as Jimmy Christoffel was briefly 3 wide with those 2 drivers. Jimmy Stokes in car 95 takes the green flag. The 11 of Victor Keller in 2nd. Tracy Keller in the 3rd spot with 12 laps remaining. Biggest event of the season for the Yellow Book Chargers. Driver leading this event with 2 feature victories finds himself 3rd in the championship point standings. And speaking of 3rd, look at Jimmy Christoffel in the 04 challenge for 3rd spot now. Beginning to work lap number 4, Stokes your leader. In the 2nd spot, it's Victor Keller, 3rd, Tracy Keller, and 4th, it's Jimmy Christoffel challenging. Turn 3, Christoffel pulls door to door with the defending track champion. And Christoffel, after his first win 2 races ago, advances to 3rd spot. Look at Aaron Minjock on the charge in car 34. Minjock started beyond mid-pack in this event, and he's diving to the inside of defending champ Tracy Keller, looking for 4th position. Aaron Minjock taking away 4th spot at the scoring line now. Keller back into the 5th position and working lap number 6 of 15. Minjock making a big move up through the field. Christoffel making a big move up through the field into 3rd. Then the 2nd place car of Victor Keller in the 11 and Jimmy Stokes running away with this field. Stokes in car 95 sees the crossed flags indicating halfway through the yellow book Charger 15-lap feature. And we got problems right here on the front straight. McConnell spins into the inside retaining wall in car 48. Rookie Ed McConnell in the 48 car, the Oldsmobile Cutlass, might have had a little bit of contact help coming out of turn number 4 and spins to the inside retaining wall. Points early this year and got a first career win 2 races ago. Green flag is out. 4th, it's Minjock. 5th, it's Tracy Keller. 7 laps remaining. Single file into turns 3 and 4. Jimmy Stokes, Victor Keller, Jimmy Christoffel, and Aaron Minjock. Behind Tracy Keller's number 1 car, Matt Gardner in the 7 has climbed from the last position up to 7th. Car number 7 in position number 7, most recent feature winner after starting last. And now Gardner looking to the inside, challenging Robbie Hott in the 16. Look at this on the outside. Mike Lemley in the 4, who was more recently sent to last than even Gardner, has reached the 8th position. Lemley, like a man possessed in car number 4, was sent to the tail on about lap number 4. And in 6 laps, he's challenging Matt Gardner, points leader. Four cars have broken away from the rest of the field, and the heated action right now is in 6th, 7th, and 8th. Robbie Hott in the 16 from Washington, PA. Matt Gardner, the points leader in the 7, and Mike Lemley quickly advancing in that 4 car. It looks like it's going to be a 4-car battle as we're working lap number 12 of 15. Look at this action on the front straight. Gardner tries to slam the door on Lemley. They avoid contact and avoid the inside retaining wall. Gardner trying to pass Robbie Hott. And into turn number 3, they both close on Tracy Keller and contact is made. Gardner into the rear of the 16 of Robbie Hott, and we have a caution. Green flag back out, 3 laps to go. Stokes, Keller, Christoffel, and Minjock the top 4. Tracy Keller in the 1, 5th position. And those similar generation Monte Carlos of Keller in the 1 and Lemley in the 4, duking it out on the back straight now for the 5th position. Lemley from the tail, inside of Keller. 3-car crash in turn number 3. Robbie Hott drives away. 7 of Gardner and the 44 of Garchak involved. Garchak Jr. doing donuts, pulling away from the scene of that incident, and Gardner through the grass as the points leader in car 7, hoping to be able to continue this event for points. Green is out. Robbie Hott back out on the speedway. Jimmy Stokes sees the signal of 2 laps to go, and Victor Keller may be too far behind to challenge. The 4 of Mike Lemley taking over the 5th position from his close friend Tracy Keller. And quickly, Lemley closes on the 4th place car of Minjock in 34. White flag signals final lap to Jimmy Stokes. Gardner trying to battle back from being sent to the tail twice now. Best action on the speedway will be the battle for 4th as they head to the finish line between Lemley and Minjock. But in turn number 4, for a 3rd victory of the season, Jimmy Stokes takes the checkered flag. Each of our feature winners receives a Subway gift certificate for 2 6-inch fresh value meals, as well as a case of Pepsi products, the official beverages of Motordrome Speedway, and snacks from Snyder of Berlin. Jimmy Stokes, 3rd win of the season, and it looked like you had it on cruise control up there from that front row starting spot.
Yeah, too many cautions. I'm too old for this.
You know, every year you threaten us with retirement, and I don't believe you're too old for 1 minute to do this, but you are out of breath after fighting that wheel 15 laps.
I'm 50 years old. I'm the oldest Charger driver out here. I still just come out to compete with all the guys. But before we go any further, I'd like to dedicate this race to my late cousin, Amanda Milas. She lost her life to cancer recently at the age of 30 years old, and this one was for her.
An emotional victory lane ceremony here for the driver from West Newton, and I know in addition to that dedication, there's always some fans in turn number 4 among the collection of sponsors that you like to thank for all your successes in this, what might be for you a championship season. How about a mention of the crew and sponsors?
Yes, first of all, Larry Linton, turn 4 down there. Them guys always support me. And Bob over there from Complete Car Company, Westside Tire and Lube, Adam Kostelnik, AK Chassis, Fort Robinson Outlet, PA Appraisal Services. You got to give them a call. They got the best deals going. And Stan's Transmissions, of course.
Well, Jimmy, one last question now. You came into tonight 3rd in the championship standings. Matt Gardner, your teammate, was leading the standings before tonight. Only about 20 or 30 points keeping you out of that championship position there. Does that change your driving style a little bit headed to the midpoint of the season, knowing you got to earn points?
No. I talked to my sponsors. I said, do you want me to hold back in just seconds and thirds and try to go for the championship, or go for the whole ball of wax, and if I spin and wreck, whatever, you know, and they said we wouldn't want it any other way. They said, you're the crowd pleaser when you drive your race. We wouldn't take it away from you. If we get the championship, fine. If not, we're going to get the most wins anyway.
That's why we call him a hard charger from West Newton, Pennsylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Stokes. 20 laps for the Subway Street Stock Division. Toyota Camry pace vehicle into the infield. Bill Henry and Adam Kostelnik lead him to the green flag. We're underway with the Subway Street Stock 20-lap feature. Henry gets crossed up. The leader, Kostelnik, dirt tracks the car. Dustin Blank makes contact. Repercussions all the way through the bottom lane of the speedway. Everybody played bumper tag. And 2 of the closest friends are bumper to bumper at the front. Tavermina and Kostelnik getting together. Jason Holder gathers up the 74 car but loses 8 positions after contact. A scary first lap for the Subway Street Stocks. Adam Kostelnik in the 05, battling door to door with the 64 of Bill Henry. Nearly contact there, as well as Adam Kostelnik got passed for the heat race win earlier tonight by his younger brother. It's now Bill Henry in between Dave Tavermina's 25 and the builder of that chassis, Adam Kostelnik, driving the 05. Tight racing for 4th now. Sean Phillips in 31 has the inside lane on the 94 of Dustin Blank. That battle for 4th heads out of turn number 4, and Phillips nearly completes the pass, officially beginning lap number 4. It is Phillips into the 4th spot. Nose to tail, the top 3 drivers in repeated bumper tag for the lead. Tavermina diving to the inside of Henry. Henry, the most veteran competitor among the top 10 in car 64, losing the runner-up spot to the Hammer. Dave Tavermina into second position. Kostelnik continues to lead this one. Henry not giving up on the high side. Sean Phillips in 31, joining this 4-car fight for the lead. Side by side, it's Tavermina and Henry behind leader Kostelnik. 31 of Phillips right there to challenge, and now it's a 5-car race. The 69 of Joe Nicola joins this freight train. Look at Bill Henry battle back on the high side. One of the oldest racing chassis still in competition is the 64 of Henry, and he's fighting for the lead after 3 heat race victories this season. Bill Henry having a career season, challenging the points leader for the lead. Working lap number 6, they're 3 wide for second. Sean Phillips almost using the grass on the bottom of the speedway to challenge Tavermina, and while he does that, Joe Nicola passes 2 cars in a single lap. Nicola's Ford now up to the 3rd spot. Tavermina is all the way back into 5th at the moment and feeling the pressure of Dustin Blank. Adam Kostelnik has a full car length lead over Bill Henry now, but here comes Joe Nicola's 69, working lap number 7. Kostelnik, the division points leader, with pressure on the high side from Henry, pressure on the low side from Nicola. Nicola started deeper in this field than the rest of the drivers currently fighting for top spots. Kostelnik dirt tracks the car, 3-4 wide on the front straight. At the scoring line officially, Kostelnik still the leader on lap 8, but he gets into Henry. Bill Henry, the popular veteran, spins from the lead battle while Joe Nicola takes the point as the caution waves. Finds Adam Kostelnik leading. Joe Nicola, Sean Phillips, Dave Tavermina, and Dustin Blank. Green flag is out, 12 laps to go. Joe Nicola gained 2 or 3 spots in 1 lap, and now moves his Ford Thunderbird to the outside, challenging Adam Kostelnik's 0-5. Sean Phillips in 31 watches this battle from 3rd position, and we have a brand new leader on lap 9. It's Nicola. The West Mifflin, Pennsylvania driver in car 69 will spin from the lead, and Kostelnik makes contact. Nicola continues on around, and Andrew Kostelnik does a great job avoiding, as well as Don Blank in the 45. Joe Nicola, the 2nd lead pack race car, to find himself spun on the racing surface. 11 laps to go for leader Adam Kostelnik. He's been passed unofficially a couple of times and leads him back to the green. Sean Phillips in 31, challenging from 2nd position. It's been a long time since Phillips has been to victory lane at the Motordrome Speedway. He is a serious championship contender this season in that car 31, and the points leader is in front of him tonight. Dave the Hammer Tavermina in 3rd and close enough to tag the rear bumper of Phillips' car. Top 5 cars, all multi-generational Chevrolet Monte Carlos, and Phillips from Jefferson, PA in car 31, looking for a feature victory. So far this season, Phillips in car number 31 has 1 heat race win. Kostelnik, your leader in the 05 car, 3 feature wins and 2 heat race wins. Working lap number 11, light contact in the fight for the lead, 3 cars strong. Tavermina tries to shoehorn the inside lane open from Phillips, as Phillips had to back off when he got into the rear of Kostelnik's car just a little bit. Tavermina in the 25 car. If there was any left rear fender left on Kostelnik's machine, Tavermina would have hit it. With parts missing from the leader's automobile, it's been a tough grind for the first 12 laps. Sean Phillips stays right there fighting back for 2nd spot, and Kostelnik has his biggest lead of the race. It's just over a car length and a half. Working lap number 13 now. Dustin Blank in the 94 car showing big improvement over his recent weeks. But now he's got Jonathan Heilman in the 15 car challenging him for the 4th spot. Jason Holder has recovered from that early race contact that sent him back in the field. He's now in the 6th position in car 74. Tavermina Tavermina mounts a serious challenge for the lead. Into turn number 3, his good friend Adam Kostelnik, his car builder Adam Kostelnik, maintains the point position. And the hammer, tapping on that rear bumper. Sean Phillips back about a car length and a half now, and then a 3-car fight for 4th. Action all over the speedway as Nicola spins again in turn 2 on lap 15. A little bit of contact into the 69 car, and we're going to need a caution flag once again. Nicola stopped in turn 2. I said they were good friends. Let's hope that doesn't change in the final 5 laps of this race. Sean Phillips in 31 mounts a challenge for the runner-up spot. Tavermina was glued to the rear bumper of Kostelnik, but it didn't help him as Phillips is ready to take away the runner-up spot. Adam Kostelnik has led most of the laps from the drop of the green flag. A couple of leaders have gone by the wayside, but Tavermina makes contact with his friend Kostelnik, and Sean Phillips challenging for the lead now. Phillips is into second spot officially by a fender with 4 laps to go. Sean Phillips has mastered the use of the high groove of Motordrome Speedway in 2007. Twice he has been taken out of a top 3 finish by contact from other cars. Kostelnik sliding in turn 3, sliding in turn 4. Sean Phillips takes the lead by a bumper. Still together are the top 3 race cars trading paint down the back straightaway. Jason Holder has climbed from the rear of this field to 4th. Holder is making an outside charge for 3rd. New leader is Sean Phillips by a car length. 2 laps to go, the signal given as paint is traded all over this racetrack. Holder gets hit by Dustin Blank and takes out the points leader Kostelnik. Dustin Blank in car number 94 made contact with the right side of Jason Holder's machine that triggered a spin, which launches the points leader tail first into the outside retaining wall. Adam Kostelnik led most of the 18 laps of this event and finds serious damage to his AK chassis. The Folkmeyer Racing 05 car is badly bent, and Jason Holder's 74 car may have also made some outside retaining wall contact after the hit from Dustin Blank in the 94. So 4th position officially. Here's the green flag. Phillips gets a great start over Tavermina. Sean Phillips got a great restart, but slowly Tavermina is making up car lengths in 2nd position. The white flag waves. This will be the final lap. A challenge for the 3rd spot finds Bill Henry trying to peek around the high side of Jonathan Heilman. Turns 3 and 4 will be the final chance for the hammer to strike. Tavermina throws it into turn 3 for all it's worth. It will not be enough. Sean Phillips grabs the win in car 31. Well, Sean Phillips, Dave Dragovich, our resident Motordrome statistician, reminded me that it's been like 1998 or so since you've been to Victory Lane here.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I forgot how to do it.
That race had a little bit of everything. Did you watch all the chaos that was happening up front there, and did any of that scare you? Because it scared the heck out of us.
Yeah, I think I got a lot of work to do this week because I don't think there's a straight corner on the car. Everybody was banging into everybody out there. It was fun, though.
And that's what I hear most often. When a driver starts up front and gets the win, cruise control victory, they're happy. But after a hard-fought win like that, does that make the trophy look a little bit nicer on the mantle?
Yeah, I want to cherish this one for a long time. I didn't think I was going to get it. On that one restart, I lagged back a little bit and started in high gear. I kept my momentum up and passed them on the outside. I was hoping I could stick it on the outside.
I was just telling the fans that you seem to want to try the outside more and more. Is that because you know there's going to be more of your top competitors using the inside lane?
Yeah, I beat on Adam all night trying to move him out of the way. He wouldn't give up the bottom, so I had to figure out another way to get around him. So
we figured it out tonight. How about a chance to thank the crew and sponsors that made this ride so fast in that outside lane?
I've got a cheat sheet. It's been so long since I've done this, so I'm going to have to read the cheat sheet. First, I'd like to thank my wife, my 3 beautiful daughters, Tabitha, Sabrina, Paige, my crew chief, Garrett, my dad, Mike, Lou, Roger, George. We lost him a couple weeks ago. He was a big part of this with my motor and stuff in this team, and he'll be sadly missed. Gene and Boots Candy, Evans Contracting, Superior Lawn Care, Wilson's Forest Products, Advanced Auto, Hoyle's Graphics, Landscaping for Less, McCarroll's Tax Service, Michael's Auto. I need to take a breath here. Dr. Robert Clanchard, Johnson Masonry, Chuck's Collision, Pierre, Garrett Hoos Auto Detailing, and especially I'd like to thank the fans, because if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to do the stuff that we do. And also I'd like to thank Subway Street for sponsoring our division, and I think that's all I can say.
An excellent run tonight, and guess what, folks? That cheat sheet's laminated. That means he's planning on bringing it back to victory lane again. Sean Phillips, everybody. Big layoff, a top 10 finish. Toyota Camry pace car heads pit side. Green flag waves Napa NASCAR Super Late Models. Up to full speed on Toyota dealers of Western Pennsylvania Fan Appreciation Night. Trouble for Dan Lewis. Chris Bailey is into the wall. Dave Merrow is collected. John Komarinsky in the 33 spins around. Multi-car contact mid-pack. And the 17 of Chris Bailey Jr. gets the worst of it. The 5 of Norm Taylor stopped without contact. The Komarinsky 33 car still unpainted from a vicious crash 2 races ago. And Dan Lewis in the 8 was the first car around, and it looked like he had some help. Toyota Camry pace car, headed pit side. Todd Price and Will Thomas lead him to the green flag. Komarinsky spins in turn 1. The opening night winner looks like he may have had some help as the rear fender panel is dented in on the 33 car. And the former champion Will Trout in the 95 on the outside. Then it's Messenger and Black in row 3. Green flag is in the air. And Todd Price spins to the inside from the 2nd position. 15 car goes around on the back straightaway. Another caution flag before a lap has been completed. We'll turn over to Thomas and Regan. Will Trout and Messenger now the new row number 2. No start, false start that time. False start, caution flag is out. False start that time. 35 laps the distance for the Napa NASCAR Super Late Models. An even start, here's the green flag. Will Thomas, the early leader. Gary Wiltrout into 2nd. A great move on the start. Steve Black got some rear contact, straightened the car out, and takes 3rd away from Regan. Here comes Sean Pilla in the 5, storming to the inside, looking to take 4th spot. Sean Pilla in car 5, having a career season in the opening weeks of 2007. And just that quickly, Pilla is being challenged to the outside lane by his teammate Neil Brown. And Regan gets off the pace, backs off and holds up Neil Brown, opening the inside lane floodgate. Sean Pilla squeaks through. Bobby Henry follows. Greg Kelly is moving through. Here comes Neil Brown. Brown was just about to challenge for 4th. And when Regan had to back off to save the car in turn 4, Brown had nowhere to go and he had to lift as well. That strings out the top 7 cars, single file. Thomas the leader. Will Trout in 2nd, Steve Black in 3rd, and a challenge for 4th now. A pair of Connellsville, Pennsylvania residents. Sean Pilla on the outside. Bobby Henry storming through to the inside, taking the 4th spot. Here comes Greg Kelly. Kelly, the D&K Sales number 44 machine. Former truck division champion, sandwiched between the Nagy Sunoco teammates of Sean Pilla in 4th and Neil Brown in 6th. Tommy Beck is making a valiant charge up through the field. A pit stop sent him to the tail. And now Beck racing in the 8th position, just behind front row starter Regan. Working lap number 6, it's now a 3-car battle for 5th position. Sean Pilla in car 5, Greg Kelly in 94, and Neil Brown in 98. Brown door to door all the way through turns 3 and 4 with Greg Kelly. Still glued together at the doors, the 44 and 98. Kelly, the young rising star, and veteran Neil Brown with 2 wins on the season. Brown takes over that position and in 3rd spot there door to door. Working lap number 8, Bobby Henry in turn number 2. Sneaks by the number 1 of Steve Black. Henry undefeated in heat competition this season. 1 feature victory. Closes in on teammate Gary Wiltrout. The Palagrudo racing cars are side by side. Sharing the sponsorship of Lynn Flooring, Stone & Company, Megan Ford, Bobby Henry storms by his teammate, former track champion Gary Wiltrout. Working lap number 9, it's car number 9. Will Thomas way out in front after starting on the front row. Bobby Henry now 2nd after passing several machines from a mid-pack starting spot. Gary Wiltrout falling back to 3rd now and feeling the pressure of Steve Black. Black is inching up closer to the rear bumper of former champion Wiltrout. Just behind Black in the 4th spot, it's the teammates Brown and Pilla. Pilla in car 5, holding down the 5th position, and Neil Brown in 98 is 6th. 7th is Greg Kelly, and all the way up to 8th and coming quickly toward the front, Tommy Beck in the 60. Working lap number 12, and Tommy Beck in turn number 1, diving under Greg Kelly's 44 machine. Beck made a pit stop to inspect for body damage, and without any serious adjustments being made, that car's handling like it's on a rail, passing some 10 or more automobiles in the first 13 laps. Challenge for the 3rd position. Steve Black in car number 1, diving to the inside of Gary Wiltrout. Spectacular run for the Toyota Camry number 1 of Steve Black, and he takes that spot away at the scoring line. Last season, Steve Black competed on the entire Mara Series Championship Tour, traveling through New York and all over Pennsylvania. And that valuable experience paying off tonight as Black headed for perhaps a podium finish here, stealing the 3rd spot away from the former champion. On lap 15 into turn number 1, Tommy Beck has now split the Pilla Racing teammates. Neil Brown back 1 position in the field as Beck storms ahead. In our most recent race, Beck lost to Brown by just a fender, and he's now reeling in Brown's teammate Sean Pilla, who finds himself 5th on lap 16. Some smoke from the Sean Pilla 5 car. He's off the pace. Beck gets by, Brown gets by, and we're going to need a caution flag for the slowing Sean Pilla 5 on the front straight. That tour visits Motordrome next week. Bobby Henry stormed up from mid-pack into the 2nd spot, and Steve Black advanced to 3rd with 16 of 35 laps completed. Larry Bahana returns to action in the 00. Let's watch the 60 of Tommy Beck. Beck up to the 5th spot, diving under Gary Wiltrout, challenging for 4th. Beck may be the fastest car on the speedway. Bobby Henry started about mid-pack and climbed to 2nd. Beck was nearly involved in the first caution flag period and was sent to the tail for the pit stop before the beginning of this race. Beck has passed all but 3 cars on the racetrack. Neil Brown is now challenging Wiltrout, and Brown will advance into the top 5 in car 98. Steve Black makes an error between turns 1 and 2. Ill handling now is that Toyota number 1, and that allows Tommy Beck to slide into 3rd position. Up front, the leaders racing very close now. Will Thomas in the 9 and Bobby Henry in the 11, with only a car length and a half separating themselves. Neil Brown takes spot away from Steve Black. Black now back to the 5th spot, and it looks like a lead challenge could be approaching. Bobby Henry in the 11 car with 1 feature victory this season and over 100 in his career. closing into the rear of the 9 of Will Thomas. At mid-pack, John Komarinsky in the center of the back straightaway is challenging the 24 car of Regan, making a first Motordrome start. Opposite ends of the spectrum here on the front straight, door to door. Komarinsky has raced at this facility for 21 years, and Regan making his first start, losing that spot on lap 22. As they begin to work lap 23, the leaders headed into turn number 1. Will Thomas in the 9, Bobby Henry in the 11. Chevrolet leading forward, and we got a spin on the front straight. The 24 of Regan goes around. The 5 of Norm Taylor spins to avoid, and Chad Hemphill does a great job spinning to avoid both cars and the inside wall at the same time. Thomas takes the green flag with Bobby Henry right on the rear bumper, and Tommy Beck as the top 3. Thomas is able to handle just about the middle of the racetrack, which leaves a half a lane open for Bobby Henry in turns 1 and 2 each lap. Tommy Beck watches from 3rd. Neil Brown is 4th. The Colonial Metal Products, number 9 of Will Thomas. ASA and Mara Series Traveler. Now becoming a regular at Motordrome Speedway, seeking his first career win in Smithton. Bobby Henry just behind him. Tommy Beck, the winner 2 races ago, in 3rd. 10 laps to go. Top 3 cars separating by an extra couple of car lengths from Neil Brown in 4th. Steve Black still having a great run in 5th spot with that 1 car. Henry just inches away from the rear bumper of Will Thomas. Thomas, who could have challenged for a win last week, spun the car to avoid contact with the leader and allowed Brown to go on to take the victory. Now on lap 27. It could be a 3-car race. Bobby Henry, Will Thomas, Tommy Beck. Both Henry and Beck have multi-division wins at this facility. Henry, who's raced here since the dirt surface, claiming limited late model championships on the clay. And Beck, who won the biggest modified event in the history of Motordrome Speedway as a teenager in 1996. Both knocking on the door of Will Thomas, light contact that time with the 9 out of turn 4. Working lap number 29 of 35. And Will Thomas, with one of Motordrome's all-time leading winners, tucked right under his rear spoiler. Dave Merrow heads pit side as the leaders, coming out of turn number 4, will begin to work lap number 30. Tommy Beck still in striking distance in the stands. Transmissions number 60. Less than 5 laps to go, and Will Thomas maintains his position at the front of this field. He started on the front row. One would assume that he's been able to save his tires more so than Henry and Beck, who had to fight their way from the middle and back of the pack respectively. But Henry leaving just inches of room between his nose piece and the rear bumper of Thomas's Monte Carlo. Working lap number 32. Turn number 1 seems to be the most difficult turn to negotiate for Thomas, but this time it's in turn 3 that Henry is close enough to kiss the rear bumper. 2 laps to go. Henry, Beck, and Thomas, with Neil Brown in the 98 car close to joining this battle. One of those 4 cars will walk away with this feature victory. Steve Black in 5th, falling just off the pace at the wave of the white flag. 4 more corners for Bobby Henry to make a challenge. He's to the inside in turns 1 and 2, using every inch of the bottom of this speedway, and Thomas defends his position from the Henry advance. into turn 3. Last time out of turn number 4, and for the first time at Motordrome Speedway, Will Thomas takes the victory in car 9. Will Thomas, it seems like this has been a long time coming. I just explained to the fans all the racetracks where you've won a feature event. Last week looked like it could have been your week, and finally you get here.
Yeah, I had a mirror full of Bobby Henry. I didn't know if I was going to get here. Bobby ran me real clean the whole race. We just got real free at the end. But I'll tell you what, I never thought I'd get here either. We've come down here a few times, and we've been real fortunate other parts of the country, but Motordrome's kind of been a monkey on our back, I guess. So being that it's Father's Day weekend, it's kind of a win for my dad, so that's pretty cool.
Now, with the Mara Series coming into town next week, you are the defending champion of the Tour. I thought you might use this as a session just to try out brand new things for next week, but this feature win had to be what was on your mind tonight.
Oh, yeah, we needed a win here. My guys have been working so hard all year, and I haven't been able to get anything done around here. We won down in Florida at the beginning of the year, but we haven't been able to get anything around here, so this helps for morale and everything. Plus, we killed a race car last time we were here, so hopefully we'll be able to get this thing dialed in pretty good for next week.
How about a chance to thank the sponsors and crew of the number 9 team?
All my guys are awesome. Jack, Oscar, Dennis, JT, my dad, Bobby, my wife, Katie, and Colonial Metal Products, PI&I Motor Express, and thanks to the fans for coming out. Just bring more friends with you next time.
There he is for the first time at Motordrome Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, Will Thomas. Outside the 99 of Bo Glemba, 32 Matt Panaya, 60 Adam Kostelnik, 3 Chris Brink, 04 Bobby Ship, 7 Ben Easler, 40 Brian Ship, and 34 Rich Nicola as we're underway. Gary Scott jumps out to an early lead over Harry Ofer. Drivers in first and second position, very good friends off the racetrack. 97 of George Nicola, the hard luck driver of the year, into the 3rd spot. And there's Huffman in car number 9, having the season of a lifetime, side by side with Jim Nicola in the 5. George Scott in the 16 car, with now an 8 or 9 car length advantage over Harry Ofer, nearly 3 wide in the middle of the pack with Adam Kostelnik in the 60 and Tom Frank in the 6. Bo Glemba to the 99 and the outside in that battle for it looks like about the 6th or 7th position. Glemba very close to the outside, retaining wall, holds the high line on the outside of Kostelnik, trying to close in on Tom Frank in the 6. A battle for the 2nd position develops on the back straightaway. Harry Ofer in the 0-1, still seeking a career first victory. And George Nicola in the 97, who's had the worst of luck in 2007, challenging to the outside. Still wheel to wheel down the back straight. The fight for the runner-up position. Half a straightaway separates them from the leader. Half a straightaway separates them from 4th place, the 9 of Huffman. And they are fighting tooth and nail, wheel to wheel on lap number 5 for the runner-up spot. Nicola now completes a pass and quickly gains 2 car lengths over Harry Ofer, now in 3rd. Back to Huffman in 4th in the 9, it's about 8 car lengths. Then Jim Nicola in the 5, and the advancing Adam Kostelnik in car 60. Adam Kostelnik, 3-time modified champion in car 60, moves to the inside of 2-time modified champion Jim Nicola in the 5, and he has taken away the 5th position. Kostelnik from deep in this field up to spot number 5, caution flag. In turn 4, Rich Nicola has spun. Rich Nicola from Pittsburgh in car 34, one of 3 racing Nicolas in this event, spins at the entrance to pit lane. Full race cars this season, finding himself deep in the field right now as the green flag waves. 7 of 20 laps completed. Gary Scott, your leader. Gary Scott in car 16, whose lead is now down to just a couple car lengths over George Nicola in the 97 car. Scott sponsored in part by local favorites, the Clarks, as Scott in the music business himself, losing some car lengths and spinning on the back straight from the lead. Gary Scott's machine heads to the infield abruptly, and the leader is out of this event on lap number 8. Feature win could turn his season around. Harry Ofer looking for a career first, and defending champion Adam Kostelnik up to third for the restart. 12 laps remaining. Twelfth starting Adam Kostelnik riding in third. Challenging for the runner-up position with Harry Ofer in the 0-1. George Nicola, the leader, working lap number 9. Jim Nicola, his uncle, in fourth, and between them a heated fight for second with Harry Ofer. And Adam Kostelnik. Gary Scott returns to competition. Bumper tag in that battle for second position now. Kostelnik's Luzader Auto Service number 60 machine. Switching to the outside lane. Harry Ofer from Bell Vernon, Pennsylvania in the 0-1, holding the second spot using the low side of the speedway. Tom Frank drifts back a couple of positions on the back straight that time, and Kostelnik with a wide open outside groove. He's no stranger to making outside passes, and the 3-time feature winner on lap 11 still unable to get by Harry Ofer. George Nicola with now a big lead as a result of the fight for second. 3 cars making contact down the back straight. Tom Frank, Lonnie Hoffman, and Bob Shipp in the 0-4 all locked bumpers for a split second. Everybody continues in the right direction with some damage to the Shipp nose piece. George Nicola from Pittsburgh with more than 9 career feature victories in modified competition. Harry Ofer looking for a first win. Adam Kostelnik with 3 already this season, working lap number 13, and down the back straight again, Harry Ofer defends the runner-up position from the advances of the 3-time champion. Back in fourth, it's Jim Nicola. In fifth, it's Rick Huffman in the 9. Sixth, it's Bo Glemba in 99. And then a battle between the 6 of Tom Frank and the Lonnie Hoffman 58 car. Lonnie Hoffman, Smithton's own hometown hero in a car owned by Al Civic. Closing up quickly to the rear bumper of the Ohio youngster. Chris Brink in the 3 car, the Glenn Campbell Gambler, joining that fight as well, as Brink has nearly won a feature as a modified rookie already at Motordrome this season. 5 laps to go. Lap number 16, Adam Kostelnik in car 60 in third position, trying to advance into the second spot, and Harry Ofer having the race of his life. Ofer in the second position right now, and Kostelnik trying to take that spot away on the front straight. 3 laps to go this time. George Nicola out in front in car 97. A huge lead as he takes the signal for 2 laps to go. Kostelnik dirt tracks the car out of turn 4. Harry Ofer with now a full car length, securing the second position. Single file around the racetrack, and car 97, George Nicola, who 2 races ago took the white flag as he did tonight, only to meet certain disaster in turn 1. Nicola's tough luck season may be turning around before our eyes with half a straightaway lead over Harry Ofer in the second spot. In turns 3 and 4, the veteran competitor and many-time winner, finding good fortune for the first time in 2007, George Nicola the winner. Harry Ofer in second, Adam Kostelnik third, Jim Nicola fourth, and Rick Huffman with an excellent 5th place finish. from a racing family. And George, we've talked in victory lane here more than a couple of times, but I was explaining to the fans the tough luck, the ridiculous bad luck you've had in 2007. This has to be a win that you never would have saw coming after the misfortunes of this season.
Yeah, we gave 2 of them away earlier this year. I mean, that's just racing luck. Sometimes the ball falls your way, sometimes it falls on the other side. But man, I'll take this one. These guys have been putting these cars back together for me for 2 weeks. And man, this felt good. This feels good.
When you get involved in a racing accident, it's never a happy moment, but things that have happened to you this year have been not only strange, but not your fault. How does that feel when you're towing home from the racetrack and something so ridiculous like crashing with a 10-car length lead on the last lap? Have you seriously considered saying, I don't even want to do this anymore?
No way, it's in my blood. I've been around it all my life. You got to take the good with the bad. It's like a marriage.
Like a marriage. And speaking of family, you had family out there tonight, 2 relatives of yours in the modified feature. Explain that relationship to us.
Well, they're both my uncles. That's my dad's brothers, and they're both. It's fun racing against all of them because it's all bragging rights for the week, you know.
Well, you've got the bragging rights now as a result of this crew building the car for you. How about a chance to thank them and the sponsors?
I got to thank my dad and Joe because they've been busting their butt for me the last couple of times I banged these up. And then I'd like to thank Edlin Automotive, Dare Transportation, Monday's Auto Parts Supply, PJ Smoke Shop, Jackson Welding Supply, and I'd like to thank you fans for coming out and putting up with us tonight.
There he is, George Nicola, back in victory lane for the first time since 2006 opening night in car 97. 95, Tony Dukic from Connellsville. Outside, Chris Spadacine in the 43, the rookie from Pittsburgh. Green flag is out, 8 laps for the American Flyers, and we're underway. These cars modified only for driver safety with roll bars welded in to protect the drivers. Full fire suits are mandated by rule. Competing on street tires with automatic transmissions, Tony Dukic, the rookie, out to the early lead, younger brother of the division champion going back to 2004. They were 4 wide coming out of turn number 4 that time. Jay Matthews in the middle of a sandwich with the 9 car of Quarrick and the 43 of Spadacine. Now the defending champions, the meat of the sandwich. Dan Jordan threads the needle in car 32. Quarrick is on the bottom, Spadacine on the top. Meanwhile, the leader feeling a challenge. Jay Matthews slicing through in the 77 car. He passes the points leader Giles, and he's trading paint with Dukic down the front straightaway. Dukic drifting 2-3 lanes up on the speedway. West Side Lube and Tire 77 takes over the point position. More 3 wide down the back straight. Battle for 5th. Eifert in 61. Spadacine and Quarrick. Eifert up into the top 5 now. The teenager in car 61 climbing into this field. And up onto the scoreboard will be the number 61 as we work lap number 3. Jay Matthews in car 77, already this season, a winner of 2 features and 4 heat races, make it 5 after tonight's preliminary win. Crossed flags telling Jay Matthews halfway to another win. Dan Jordan in car 32, on the heels of his championship season, Jordan has not yet taken a checkered flag in heat race or feature competition. Riding in the 2nd position now. 3rd, the rookie Dukic, and 4th, the points leader Andy Giles. It's a Dodge Daytona leading a Buick, a Chevy Cavalier, a Dodge Shadow, and another Cavalier. Jay Matthews in car 77 continues to have his way with this field. Dan Jordan in the 2nd spot. 5 of 8 laps completed. That means the signal given. 2 laps to go to Jay Matthews, member of the MAG Racing Team. The Nowak Painting Service 77 car. This car was driven to several feature victories by Charger Division points leader Matt Gardner a couple of years back. And Dan Jordan is definitely closing the gap. The Buick in 2nd position with the defending champion at the controls is reeling in the leader on the final lap. Last time out of turn number 2, and Matthews picks up the pace just a little that time. Chris Spadacine has smacked the wall. Outside wall contact. And he continues on his way, which brings out the checkered flag for Jay Matthews. Another victory over Dan Jordan. Dukic with a career best third, then Andy Giles and Ron Eifert. Andy Giles from Vanderbilt finishing third in car 95. Tony Dukic finishing second. Dan Jordan from Connellsville in 32, the defending champion. And that answers the question, how do you do a celebration burnout in a division of front-wheel drive cars? You do it in reverse. Now, Jay Matthews, I got a question for you. That reverse burnout was real popular with the fans. What'd the car owners say about the tire bill after that one?
We got West Side Lube and Tire taking care of that. We don't need to worry about any tires.
Well, as long as you get those words in the right order, I'm sure they'll fix you up with the tires. Hey, how about a chance to thank the sponsors and crew, and then we'll get to the real questions.
Mag Racing, most important, Tri-State Floor, NOAC, and West Side Lube and Tire.
Now, tonight, you were trading some paint with a rookie. You had a rookie you had to take the lead from this time. Do you guys get to know each other's driving styles in this division when you come out here week in, week out?
That's not really. You do. You see what happens. And I knew I was coming alongside him there, and I don't know if he see me or not. I was hoping he did. And we touched a little bit, but I think he's all right.
Yeah, Rubbin's racing, right?
Oh, yeah. That's what it's here for. Years ago, that's what everyone came to see, and it seems like it's slowing down a little bit. I think we need to pick it up.
A little bit more Rubbin, and you're a championship contender now. You might even be leading the points over Andy Giles. Championship creeping into your mind at this point of the season?
I'm just going to run a partial season, so no, I hope Andy gets it.
Well, there you go. Congratulations and a goodwill wish for a competitor. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Matthews.